Hey friends, this is Cindy from Cindy Losing It, and it's kind of what I feel like today. You know, I watched a little bit of Nirvana this morning. Sometimes I like to listen when I'm driving to and from work, when I'm stuck in traffic. And she talked quite a bit about how weight gain can creep back up on you, during your weight loss process, and no matter whether you're probably a year out or even further, that you just can't let your guard down. Sometimes life gets in the way and really causes you to kind of get off track. Sometimes she talked a lot about a lot of the struggles and the challenges that we face, but quite honestly, it could be either or. If you're like me, I'm an emotional eater. That emotion could be happy, it could be sad. I apologize for the steering wheel, actually. Driving home from work. It could be anything. And I am 14 months out, so I guess I should kind of step back a little bit. I had Roux-en-Y gastric bypass surgery March 31st, 2016. I actually started the process around March 2015, and it took me a year to get through all the red tape through insurance and through the surgery center's requirements. I started, my heaviest weight was about 232.4. Day of surgery, I was at about 222, and today, Thursdays are my official weigh-in. I still try to document my weigh-in, and I'm at 135.4, which was my goal, my initial goal. I really wouldn't mind losing another 3 pounds just to say that I've lost 100 pounds during the process, but if I stayed at 135, I would be very happy with that. So, having said that, I feel that through life, all the good, all the bad, and all the things in between, it takes consistency, it takes constant mind process, because many of us are here because we are emotional eaters, and it's really an addiction, right? What does an addict do? They look for any excuse they can to take a drink, pop a pill, inject. It's really the same thing. We look for any excuse that we can to pop whatever indulgence we have in our mouth. For me, it's sweets. And yes, I can still eat sweets. I can't eat them the way that I used to. As a matter of fact, I really never was a huge candy eater, but because there's always miniature Hershey's or miniature this or miniature that in the office, I every day indulge in 2 or 3 at least pieces of miniature candy. And is that bad? No, it hasn't really affected me so much. But the fact is I'm addicted to sugar, and I use it as, once you get that in your blood, it's really hard to get it back out. So back to what I was saying earlier. I could very easily kind of fall off and gain weight. At 14 months out, I'm not going to necessarily gain a whole lot of weight. I don't have quite the restriction that some people do with some foods. I find that I can eat pastas, and I can eat bread, and I can even eat sweets in moderation, and I could eat them every meal. I find that I can graze. I can graze on certain foods. Slider foods. I haven't heard people talk about slider foods a lot lately, but I could easily graze on that all day long if I wanted to. I can eat just because I want to put something in my mouth, not necessarily because I'm hungry. So I have to make sure that when I do eat, that I eat the right kind of things. My success is to focus on protein and make sure that I'm getting my protein in every day, and I eat such a routine way these days that I'm doing it without tracking. I don't recommend that. I really feel like I should be tracking more. And I start and I get lazy with it. The reason I decided to kind of come and make this video today on my way home is because of some things that Nirvana said, and today I received a very disturbing phone call, and it's something that that I've been struggling with, my husband and I, for, well, I don't even know when. It has to do with a family member, and today I received a phone call that for the most part I handle life stress pretty well. Things for the most part don't really wear on me too much, but this particular phone call it affected me, and it affected me negatively, and really kind of put me, I'm a pretty positive person, I'm a pretty happy person, and it really put me into a position where I really had to work a little bit harder today on being that happy person, being that positive person. And now that I'm on my way home, you know, away from people at work, I could go home, I could sit on the couch, I could eat whatever my husband fixes for dinner, and then continue to, you know, just kind of scrounge around with food the rest of the evening, but I'm not. One major key to my success isn't so much about how I manage my food nearly as much as how much I manage my activity level. I have found that exercise helps me with that mental mind F. It helps me to release the stress and tension that I carry in my shoulders and my upper back, in, you know, in my neck. It helps me to take that negative impact on my psyche and release it for a while, and help turn it into something a little bit more positive. What do I do? So I have a pretty normal routine. My husband, we'll have dinner, and about 7:30 then he is getting ready for bed. He gets up at the crack of dawn to go to work, sometime between 2:30 and 3:30 in the morning. So at 7:30 he is getting ready for bed, and then I start my exercise routine. Not always easy to do once you've been home and you've had dinner and you've sat down and watched a show with your iPad on your lap, playing your games, because that's what I do. But I'll start by getting up when he gets up, and I will start getting my stuff ready for the next day. I'll get my coffee pot ready, I'll get my lunch items ready, my meds, vitamins, whatever. I might even get my clothes laid out. And getting up and moving around kind of gets the juices flowing again. And I start on the treadmill. And I know a lot of people struggle with doing the treadmill. They do better going outside or going to the gym. But for me, because I am often gone quite a bit for work, I like being home. I like doing it home. And what I do to help entertain myself and take my mind off of the boring routine of being on the treadmill is that's when I most oftentimes get caught up on my YouTube. So I watch a lot of people that's going through the WLS journey. I watch a lot of beauty YouTubers. Sometimes I'll watch Netflix, and that can get me through however long I decide to stay on the treadmill. Through the week, it's anywhere between 1 to 2.5 miles. On the weekends, I usually do about 5 miles on Saturday and then 5 miles on Sunday. And then, not every night through the week, but I'd say 3 out of the 5 nights, I do yoga. Yoga is the kind of end-all, be-all for me for that stress relief. I started doing it again to help tone my muscles, to see what loose skin that I have, which isn't horrible, to kind of see what I can do to tone it up before I ever decide to go to see a plastic surgeon. And what I have found is that I have strengthened my core quite a bit. My core is probably stronger than it has ever been, and the tension, oh man, what the stretching can do for my neck and my upper back and my shoulders. I actually am to a point where I look forward to it, especially on days like today when I'm really feeling blue and feeling overwhelmed, and I want to go home and I want to spend time doing yoga. So what do I do? Do I pop in a DVD? Do I do it on my own? Yeah, I do both of those, but what I mostly do is I use YouTube. So there is a person out there named Adrienne, and you can look up Yoga with Adrienne, and I have been through classes at the gym many times over the years, and you're in a class with people and on all different skill set levels. But what I like about doing this at home by myself is that I'm not competing with anyone else in the room to try to stay up. But Adrienne has a way of explaining the moves to you in such a way that you're doing it properly. And she's very patient, and she doesn't go so fast that you don't feel like you have time to prepare yourself for that move before you're moving on to the next. But yet it's not so slow that someone that's a little bit more seasoned would get bored with it, I think, because she teaches you that it's one pose, but there's different variations of that pose that no matter where you're at on your skill set. And she takes time at the beginning to get you breathing and to kind of help get your mind clear. She gives you time to fidget, get that fidgeting out of your system, whether you need to adjust your pants or you adjust your hair or whatever it is. And I find that I can do a yoga session with her, and I can do it. She has several out there. She's been doing it for years, so you can do a 10 or 15 minute one. You can up to an hour, anywhere in between, and it really helps. And today I'm especially looking forward to that yoga time. Okay, so I have rambled on for about 14 minutes now. I really want to at least try to put videos out there once a week. I've already found that I'm not great at doing it from home. Let me know, if you would, in the comments below how this worked out for you, me doing it in the car, because this is probably going to be the best venue for me to be able to focus and do it. Because over the summer, we've got grandkids at our house a lot, and they stay, and I don't have a big house, so it's not like I can go in a room and hide. Plus, when I'm home, I want to be visible to my family. So let me know if there's anything that any of you would like to hear about my journey. Maybe you would like me to show some pictures of the loose skin that I've talked about. I did do some before and after, or before pictures and now pictures that I could show you, but I did not do any showing any of my skin before. That would have just, I didn't want to look at it myself, much less show it to anybody. So that didn't happen. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. I would really like to be able to connect and help people out. I get a lot of help. So listening to Nirvana today, Jody, love Jody. I love her kind spirit, and she's the one who encouraged me to start making videos. We have emailed back and forth a few times, and you know, she felt that I had something to offer, and so I'm here. I want to do this for myself, but I also want to do it for those that may have questions, may be deciding to whether they want to do surgery or not, may be struggling somewhere along the way through the mental process, because it could be really hard early on if you do not have your head truly in the game. Then it's going to be tough, because you can't eat. You'll want to eat to make yourself feel that comfort, but you can't. So yeah, let me know what you might want to hear. Let me know what I can do to help you. All right, I would love to get to know you, all of you, and I hope that you all have an amazing and safe, happy and healthy Memorial weekend. Take care. Bye.